Howard Lutnick, the United States Secretary of Commerce, recently stepped into one of the most radioactive scandals in modern memory. In a podcast interview, Lutnick described a personal encounter with Jeffrey Epstein, the financier and convicted sex offender whose crimes and mysterious connections continue to cast a shadow over American elites. Lutnick's comments were explosive, but not for the reasons he might have hoped. According to Lutnick, he shared a wall with Epstein. Their townhouses were literally built into one another. Interesting detail, maybe he was concerned about being spied on. So one day, he and his wife go next door to Epstein's townhouse. During that visit, they were shown a massage room in the middle of the residence, where the dining room should have been. Epstein, Lutnick recalls, remarked that he received the right kind of massage every day. Disturbed, Lutnick claims he and his wife vowed never to be alone with him again. That anecdote is the centerpiece of Lutnick's narrative. It establishes proximity, he was there, while portraying himself as morally repelled. It also serves as a shield. He can admit to having stepped into Epstein's home without inviting suspicion of complicity. Including his wife in the story reinforces that sense of normalcy and distance. But citing only this brief and ambiguous encounter, Lutnick leaps to sweeping conclusions. He declared Epstein the greatest blackmailer ever and speculated that Epstein's unusually lenient 2008 plea deal might have been the result of a trade, secret recordings of powerful men offered in exchange for legal mercy. Lutnick concedes he has no evidence for this claim. He did not say he saw cameras, tapes, or documents. He did not say anyone confided such a scheme to him. Yet he spoke as though his inference was fact. That leap is telling. If all Lutnick witnessed was a massage room and a suggestive comment, what grounds does he have to know that Epstein ran an elaborate blackmail operation? At first, his certainty seems like the adoption of rumors already in circulation. But when we consider he emphasizing that shared wall, it sounds more like he is setting up an explanation for his own blackmail payments. Equally striking is the timing. Epstein was arrested in 2019 and died in jail soon afterward. His crimes have been publicly dissected for years, and survivors have pleaded for accountability. Yet Lutnick waited until 2025 on a podcast to make his account public. If his motive were protecting others or speaking out of moral duty, why not report his suspicions to law enforcement at the time? Why not come forward after Epstein's arrest? His long silence, and the casual venue of a media appearance rather than official testimony, makes his disclosure look less like whistleblowing and more like reputation management. That impression is sharpened by the contradictions his comments create. The FBI and Justice Department have stated that there is no credible evidence Epstein maintained a client list or systematically blackmailed others. FBI Director Kash Patel recently told Congress the Bureau has no proof that Epstein trafficked minors to third parties. Lutnick, however, flatly states the opposite, offering no new evidence. In doing so, he attempts to divert attention to the types of evidence that would have been most difficult to cover up, and away from the types of financial records that probably do exist. Taken together, these elements suggest a coherent strategy. Lutnick's story gives him proximity to Epstein without entanglement, disgust without responsibility, suspicion without evidence. That way, if further Epstein-related records emerge, documentation of payments subject to interpretation, Lutnick has laid the groundwork for some alternative explanation. This is not the profile of a whistleblower. It is the profile of someone inoculating himself against reputational contagion. Call it the pre-reckoning panic dance, a controlled disclosure, expressed in moral outrage, floated in public just before the possibility of damaging revelations. If Lutnick's performance is any guide, we should expect more of it. Other powerful figures who once crossed Epstein's path may soon remember, conveniently and at length, how horrified they were, how briefly they knew him, and how they always suspected something was wrong. These retrospective expressions of disgust do little for victims, nothing for accountability, and everything for personal positioning. A billionaire like Howard Lutnick doesn't make these types of comments sloppily or by accident. The only real question is what he's trying to get in front of. If a personal friend of the president is doing this now, it looks like the other shoe is about to drop.